right, let me introduce you all. First of all, Happy Lunar New Year, okay? And this is my beautiful son. say 恭喜發財，
恭喜發財，
新年快樂。
新年快樂。
That's right. Okay, this is our family's vlog. Is that what you call it? All right. And this entry is Chinese New Year. Okay, we somewhat celebrated, and so I thought I'd have a little entry. Very interesting. If you have never, oh, by the way, I forgot. My name is Tim Leung. I'm a former worship pastor and stroke survivor, and I've been out of work for a while, but I wanted to share this with you. This is a very interesting book, okay? This is an interesting book. There's this book and many books like it. It's not the only one. Also, you find a lot of compelling, even animated videos and stuff on YouTube. Check it out about this very interesting idea. Now, what is this idea? Check it out. The Chinese language and history has gone back. Chinese history is perhaps the longest continuous history in the world, spanning back thousands, 4,000, almost 5,000 years. Now, why is this significant to us? It is significant because there are many people who clearly see references, solid references to the God of the Bible. Yes, the God of Genesis in what? The Chinese language. Yes, you got to remember Buddhism, Confucianism, Taoism all came much, much later. The Chinese language was developed and written and used from ancient times, even before that. Now, think about it. What truly is the Chinese original religion? It's not Buddhism. That came from India. It's not Taoism. It's not Confucianism. There was something before. There was the worship of Shang-Di, right? The Lord Most High, the Lord of the heavens, the big God, the big man, we say nowadays. There was talk of this in Chinese literature. Are there references? Are there references in Chinese language that clearly reveal the God of the Bible? Now, first off, I am American born. I'm born in the USA. I am not a Chinese expert. I do not have any degrees here. I did not even stay in Chinese school like a good little boy. I think in all my years, all accumulated together, I've had maybe half a semester or even less of Chinese. So take it with a grain of salt. Don't send me hate mail. You can make fun of me all you want. This is too important. I got to stick my neck out and share this with you. By the way, if you like what we're doing, if any of these things are interesting or hopeful or encouraging to you, please like us, subscribe, smash that button, and ring that bell so that we can keep you notified. Also, forgive us, our production, our video production is going to take a step back. We're overwhelmed. My wife is tired, and I lean on her to do a lot of the post-production and whatnot. So I'm going to try to dummify it, okay? Bring everything down into my level, okay? So here we go. Now, first of all, we got to understand that Chinese was developed as a pictorial language or a pictograph language. Eventually, these strokes symbolized pictures pictures, then sounds, then ideas, then compound words, okay? But it's very interesting. Chinese offers us a snapshot where other languages, like alphabet languages, don't. Chinese, because it's pictographic, it reveals the mindset, a snapshot of history, and it reveals what people had as common knowledge. This is very significant. If you're going to develop a language, and it's based upon pictures, you're going to use pictures that make clear references to universal truths, to universal stories, to universal references that everybody knows. What does this mean? This means that these things that I'm about to show you were supposed to be common knowledge by Chinese people, not Hebrews. The land of the Hebrews and the land of the Chinese are separated by thousands of miles and an ocean. So how could this be? Well, let's look. First of all, let me show you this. And again, forgive me for my poor penmanship, but this is a Chinese symbol, a Chinese word for God. Whenever you see this radical, whether it is compounded with another radical, another pictograph to make a word, it is the God radical, okay? It speaks of God. You take God and you take all these things, very interesting, and you will find the most popular word in Chinese New Year. You go anywhere, restaurant, you go to an Asian market, and you'll see this word plastered everywhere. Next, you have the word for one. Okay, you probably know this. It's very simple. One horizontal dash means one. That makes sense. Then you take the word, and it's a little box, really, the word for mouth. Okay, so you have God, you combine it with one and mouth, and of all things, a garden. Let me draw a picture of a garden. This will make sense to you, be meaningful to you, if you've ever looked down upon farmland from an aeroplane. When you're up in an airplane, you look down and you'll see a bunch of squares. It looks like a giant took a giant ruler, and made marks on the ground. That's what it looks like from the air. And you'll see Kansas or fields, California, we have a lot of fields. You'll see squares. And this is the symbol for garden. Now, you take all these and you put them together and you get something very, very interesting. What do you get? Well, you get the word blessed or happy or prosperous. You get something like this. Now, why would the writers, the developers of ancient Chinese, pick these things and put them together in such a fashion to form the word blessed? Why is it prosperous? Why is it happy? Why is it good? Why is it blessed to have God, one mouth, meaning one person, one man, and a garden? God, one man, and a garden. I asked my little girl that. She's 4 years old, Josephine. And I said, tell Daddy, what does that remind you of? One man in a garden with God and everybody's happy. And she says, the Garden of Eden and Adam. she knew. You see, even a 4-year-old little girl sees the connection. And the connection only makes sense if there is an Adam, there is a Garden of Eden, and there is God. Together, God pronounced it good. In fact, when he made mankind, he said it was very good. There isn't just one reference in this book, and online you will find many dozens and dozens of references in early Chinese writing that clearly are signposts that the ancient Chinese knew of sin, death, Adam, Eve, Satan, the tree of knowledge, the tree of good and evil, or the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, tree of life, Noah, the great flood, the survivors of the flood. All of these things are in ancient Chinese language. And it's common to over 1 billion people, but they have no clue. It's hidden from them literally in plain sight. They grow up learning these words, and they don't see that their own language points to antiquity, to our common origin. No matter what color, race, creed, ethnicity you are, we are all children of Adam and Eve. And we all suffer because of what they experienced. In the garden is no more. But the way to go back to God, to experience life again with God, is clear. His name is Jesus. Jesus is the Lamb of God. This is how you write lamb or sheep. Okay? In Chinese, everybody knows this is, well, not everybody, but Chinese writers know that this is how you write lamb or sheep. This is how you write me, 我. Okay? So you have a sheep and you have me. Now, unless you're a shepherd, this makes no sense at all. But when you put one on top of the other, you get the word righteousness. Wow. You get righteousness when you place me under the Lamb of God. You see, God has placed hints, signposts, clear direction markers in all languages, in all cultures, in all peoples to point them to him. Point them not just back to the worship of the God of Noah, of Adam and Eve, but forward to the work of Jesus Christ. So if you want a blessed Lunar New Year or Roman New Year or any New Year, you get yourself under the Lamb of Jesus Christ, the Lamb of God, who is Jesus Christ. And you will truly prosper and be blessed forever. 恭喜發財，新年快樂. Be blessed. Be righteous. Know Jesus.